Welcome to Fairy Stamper. Annie Collins here, and today we're creating this lovely floral card. Let's go over the products I use. The Bleeding Heart stamp set, which is FHS 332. Sorry about that. And this is a beautiful floral with the leaves. We're going to be using the Thank You set, which is FHS 272, and we're only going to be using the hummingbird from this set. We're going to bring in some VersaFine Clair inks in green Oasis for our leaves, red Tulip for our floral, for the little bleeding heart right there, and Paradise for our hummingbird. We're also going to be bringing in some pigment powders. These are the Cosmic Shimmer Pixie Powders and Shimmer Shaker in Ice Blue. So this is the Shimmer Shaker in Ice Blue, the Cosmic Shimmer Pixie Powder in Midnight Blue, and a Nouveau Shimmer Powder in Sunray Crescent. We're going to bring in our card panel, which is Canson watercolor paper, and this is a cold press in white. And this is an A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and 110-pound card base. We're going to be bringing in our Jelly Roll pen in black and in sparkle. You can tell it's sparkle because there's that little shining star there. Okay, I'm going to set everything to the side here real quick so I can show you our stamped images. I stamped and fussy cut these off screen to save some time. Here's the florals in the red Tulip, and the leaves I did again in the green Oasis. And I have my little hummingbird here to show you. There he is, and he was done in the Paradise Blue. I went ahead and used the sparkle pen on his leaves. See if you can pick it up a little bit there, and the black for his eye. Now let's go ahead and pull out the watercolor panel and our shimmer powders. We're going to use some water from our distress sprayer, and we're going to get started. So first thing I'm going to do is going to bring in my splat box here with a couple pieces of paper towel on the bottom just to catch any excess water. I'm going to use the Cosmic Shimmer in Midnight Blue first, then a little bit of the Ice Blue, then I spray it with my distress sprayer, moving it the powders as much as I can, and then I will heat set. So you'll need your heat tool, unless you like to leave it in between to dry on its own, but I will heat set in between my my powders here. So I'm going to dry this layer, not all the way dry but close enough. And then I'm going to start putting in some of the Sunray Crescent from the Nouveau powder here, a little bit more of the Ice Blue, and then I'm going to spray it again with some water, and then I will heat set. I use a piece of the paper towel here to mop up any of that grungy colors that are coming in, which I do not want. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of the yellow powder. And I don't mind if it gets a little yellow and orange, because those are the colors that are in that. I just don't want that brownie color that gets mixed in when you have that orange with the blue. I'm going to heat set this panel completely before we move on to do anything else. A little bit more of our yellow here, because I want it to be almost like the sun is coming in on that top left hand corner. I'm going to heat set that. I dab off any big blobs of water, and I heat from both sides to minimize the warping. There's going to be warping because we did apply a lot of water here, but heating from both sides minimizes it a bit. Once that's completely dry, I'm going to move my splatter box out of the way, and I'm going to bring in some, here's my card base, make sure this all fits nicely. So like I said, it's a little bit warped, but not too bad. Alright, so I'm going to bring in my sheer shimmer spray here, and this is in sparkle. I didn't show this in the beginning because this was a last minute add-on here. I'm just going to put a few drops of that, and I'm going to heat set that really quickly. And I don't want a lot, and sparkle isn't a big focal color like the gold or the silver. This just adds exactly what it says, sparkle, just a little more shimmer to the background. Pick up any little extra big blobs with my paper towel, and now I'm going to use some Barely Art glue to adhere this panel to the card base. And I use quite a bit of adhesive here. I do that to make sure it lays flat because it is, like I said, a bit warped. So now I'm going to adhere my floral. I put a few pieces of foam tape on the back of our floral. I made sure I have some on the back of each of those little bleeding heart flowers, and of course on the leaves. And this is very delicate because I cut right up to the edge. And I'm going to take my time and get this on here. I put a little bit of barely art glue to the stem, and then I place the rest of the floral on there. Now I'm going to do the same with my hummingbird. I put a little bit of barely art glue just to the body, and the wings are lifted up with some foam tape. So now I have brought in some robin's nest clear baubles here, and I'm going to place 3 of them around my foliage, and my card is complete. I didn't put a sentiment on this. I left it open-ended, but I just want to let you know you can. So I brought in our stamps, again the bleeding heart, and the thank you set. We used some Shimmer, Cosmic Shimmer powders, and a Nouveau powder. I'm going to go ahead and leave everything in the description box below. Thank you for being here, and I hope you found some inspiration today.